Hey traders, one common question that I always receive is what's the best, the most profitable strategy that got me to where I am today? I feel like this question is not as valid. The right question would be what are some of the advice to my early self to fast pace my learning curve? Because I feel like as a trader, your objective should always be how can you fast pace your learning curve, go through less pain, less ups and downs, and stay as consistent as possible. So one common advice will be trading less. I feel like the trading less is not a proper advice. The right way to define it would be having a strict filtering process. What makes you grade this setup as A plus? What makes you grade it as B? As simple as if the setup aligns with the higher time frame market structure, the higher time frame market direction, and also combining with a good price position, that will be the ultimate A plus setup. We all lose money here and there, mainly from a few different reasons. First one is you don't have a proper grading system. That means you take whatever the market gives you. So you look at this one and say, oh, it looks like this strategy A, I'll take it. Or this one looks like strategy B, I'll take it. You're always second guessing your positions. You're always second guessing your setups. And good traders always have a clear objective. Okay, I'm looking for this scenario to happen, then I'll take the trade. I'll pull the trigger. Only when you have a strong filtering process, then you become a risk manager. You become a specialist. You are specializing in this specific market condition. So traders, second advice is traders always think they can become profitable trading everything, trading across all market conditions. And I'll tell you, as much as these days I have 4 key strategies and most of them are based in different contexts, different market condition. That means some of them are continuation based or momentum pattern. Some of them are mean reversion pattern. Some of them are range pattern. As much as my trading system is currently quite robust, but every trader will definitely have their unique strength and weakness. Let's talk about my personal weakness first. My weakness has been I'm always a little bit too aggressive with counter trend entries. And my second weakness is I'm not good at chasing a pro trend. That means pro trend means when the market goes up and up and up and up and up, I find it very difficult to try to get, to tag along with the trend. And some of you might say, but why don't you just create a strategy to fix it? Why should I fix everything? The same thing. Every time when you take a position, even if you have a fixed entry model, even if you have a clear strategy, the market, the price section of every single trade that you take will always be slightly different. And now let me ask you, do you try to create a 100 scenario trading system to fit all of the different scenarios? No. You simply have a few strategies, 5 to 10 scenarios or 5 to 10 trade management rule that will allow you to fit into all of the possible situations. And the same thing, don't go into the market thinking about how can I trade everything? How can I be good at everything? But instead, put your energy and focus on how can I be so good at this one thing so that the rewards of me focusing on this key strategy or this key context will outweigh some of my unnecessary losses, will outweigh some of my weakness. So focus on your strength. Every good trader will always have some sort of unique strength. That's the big boy money. They make a lot of money trading their specific context, their specific setups. And now the third point will be a fixed risk management model. That means every trade that you take, you have a static 1% risk. That is mainly for beginner traders who are trying to build consistency, or maybe you're trading on a prop firm. So your fixed risk is capped at 1%. Every elite trader will have a linear risk per trade system. Linear risk per trade system means they risk differently on different setups based on their grading system, based on their filtering process. Again, having a fixed or static risk management, that means you risk less. For example, you risk 1% across all of your setups. You're essentially saying you treat all of them the same way, and the answer is no. Again, some of you will try to question and say, but even if it's an A plus setup, doesn't it also have a possibility of becoming a loss? Of course. And that's up to your homework. If let's say you have done this setup A for the past 2 years, and the win rate or the yield, the reward or the profit factor of this specific setup is so high, every time when you see this, don't you think the right thing to do is to risk a little bit more on this one? I'm not trying to say, oh, this setup A, because it's good, it has a very good data, you're risking 10% of your account. No, I'm trying to say maybe you can risk 0.5% more. And as long as you keep your risk consistent on this setup A, you are still being very consistent with your execution. Again, having an equal risk among all of your setups, you're basically just saying, I don't know, it looks good, I'll risk the same way. And the answer to me is, this is not a wrong approach, but this is mainly for traders who are trying to build consistency. Once you're getting into a certain level of profitability, you definitely need to learn how to focus on your A plus setups a bit more. So this will be some of the key advice from me to all of you. Don't ask me about what's the best strategy that makes you profitable, but instead you should ask, what are some of the key changes that I've made that made me more profitable? Back then, I always focus a lot on trade frequency. I focus a lot on win rate, just like many of you. But the more profitable you are, the less you care about win rate, you care more about how can I maximize my return while stabilizing my equity curve. That means I don't have a big drop. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the short lesson. If you like it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.